Hey, welcome back everybody. So I'm going to try and run you through a quick update. It's 1940, December 22nd. I'm using blue to represent the Italians. So it's the Italian turn. The Italians have moved, and in fact we're getting very ready actually to do the supply phase, and then potentially we'll get stuck into some preemptive artillery. The last couple of turns have been pretty interesting. If you recall, I had mentioned in my previous video that I had completely cocked up the let me just mute my phone because I'm expecting a call. And I'm going to concentrate on this. So I had, let's see, where are we? Last couple of turns, probably 3 or 4 turns ago, I think it was, I completely messed up this approach by the Allies. And I brought the Indian Division and the 7th Army up here, and the Aussies, 6th Aussie up here, and with a little bit of armor support, and thinking that they would initiate some attacks and then have the New Zealanders to follow up and provide some support. Well, the New Zealanders don't release until much later, sometime in January or February. And so I kind of put myself in a bad position. I then had a number of tragic rolls and have lost 2 brigades and a battalion, and I've also had armoured cars and 2 other brigades removed through the variable removals and withdrawals table. So all of that happened, and I got a little more conservative as the Allied player. But then here we managed a back-to-back turn which kept some Italian forces, this particular stack here, DG'd, and there were some guys right here actually, had them DG'd as well. And that back-to-back turn allowed me to come out of my reserve. I was waiting to attack, and then the Italians used their reserve, their 2 reserve counters, one here and one there, and really pounded me with artillery. And then then in their turn, they followed up with the rest of their artillery and actually inflicted a loss. I lost the Shelby Brigade, I think it was, the 4-3 unit. Really annoying. So really it has eaten into my capacity to attack. Anyway, the whole point of this is that with the back-to-back attack, we got to make one good attack, which then forced a retreat. And here we attacked, and it was a pretty close result. It ended up being a 19 versus 19, but with a 4 differential on the attack rating, because I used O'Connor. I threw O'Connor into the battle. That resulted in a 1-step loss and an option to retreat for the defenders, but the British had to elect to take a loss as well if that was going to happen. So they didn't do that. They stood where they were and didn't take a loss, which meant we got to keep this and not take any further losses. So that's been a real tough hex to crack, and that's a clear hex with a hedgehog in it. They're then going to have to go up the escarpment here and attack Rag's group, Aragi, I think it is, I can't read it from here, Rag, his Kampf group here, which has got tons of great defense and hedgehogs and things. Over here, the Italians decided to, they had inflicted enough pain, so they pulled back a little bit. They put 2 hedgehogs in here over the last 2 turns. Yeah, we're using up some hedgehogs, and I've got 6 left, but I figure that the longer we can hold out here now, I think the better it is. Just as I look at the reinforcement tables and stuff, I think that the more pain I inflict early on for the British, the better off it is. It reduces their choices and their tactical flexibility. So I think that'll be fun to keep pegging away here with this combination of using artillery in reserve and then following up in the turn, if I can, in my Italian sequence, to then attack again, attack other units. Although it chews through some supply, I'm managing to really keep that cycle of pulling SP in and feeding this artillery fairly efficiently. So this will be the hub of the most southern flank, and I'll gradually move these guys back. I didn't want to move these back this turn because they're all army units. There's worthless army units there. I'm actually quite inclined to leave them there and let them make an attack or put me out of supply. Got some arty and some fairly strong units there, but they'll fade back in a turn or two. And this is the Bresci one-step division or brigade, whatever you call it. Division. So that's kind of what's going on. It's been the last 2 or 3 turns have actually taken not too long, because this is really the whole front right here. Everything else is just moving supply up. I've got a few artillery bits scattered around. I keep looking at the down here at the desert rats, trying to work out what, if anything, I want to do with them. And since I'm playing solo, I can't really pretend to go one way, then double back and do something else, unless I come up with some artificial mechanism in terms of reacting or whatever. So I'm not sure what to do with those down there. I might just take them off the map and ignore them until such time as they make some sense to push deep and try and cut some supply somewhere. But right now, there's nothing to cut, I don't think. So that's it. So that's the 22nd. We're halfway through, and once we get through that, we'll be hitting January 41, and that's when the reinforcements and activities start to pick up quite a bit for the Italians. And I think also, there's a lot of stuff coming in January for the Axis as well. So we'll probably get another 50 units on the board, and I think this will be where the main fight occurs. And if you want to have a closer look, I'm happy to pull this down here so you can see. So this is kind of what's going on. Let me just try and, so you can have a quick look there. And you've got the southern portion of the line is not fortified for the Italians, and mostly DG'd from last turn. The British forces and Aussies are DG'd. Mainly because, like I said, they had a back-to-back, the Allies had a back-to-back turn, and then now it's the Italians' turn to have a back-to-back turn. They went last turn and are first this turn. And they've used that, we're about to do some artillery. I'm going to try and pop that unit there out of supply, not out of supply, make him DG'd. And that will mean there'll be no attacks coming this turn from the Brits at all, which will be good. I may not even need to do that, we'll see. All right, so there you go. We'll check back in later on.